Cause I'm back in my zone now. Cause I'm back in my zone now.
How's it going, everyone? This is Addison Ohms with Zone Student Athlete Consulting, bringing to you another Z6. Last week, we had on Baltimore Ravens offensive lineman Pat McCary. He gave some great insight and knowledge for young athletes. This week, we have on my former teammate, Jordan Kunaszyk, linebacker for the Washington football team. Thanks for coming on, Jordan.
Addy, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. How you doing?
Man, I'm blessed. Life is good, man. I'm living the dream.
Love it. Love it. So what we do here on the Z6 is we ask 6 questions involving recruiting, branding, and development. And every single person has a unique story of how they developed as an athlete and how they got to where they are. And with your experience in the NFL, it would just be really interesting to hear how branding has become an important piece for you, because this is going to be an important piece for athletes down the line when they get into college. So first one for the Z6, tell me about the recruiting process for you.
Yeah, my recruiting process was unique. So I was a late bloomer coming out of or throughout my high school career. So I had a dream to just play college football. That was my whole objective. And after my junior season, it became a realization that I could play Division I football. So my mindset shifted from playing college football to now I had a focus of playing Division I football. And I didn't do well in school the first half of my high school career, but the second half I did really well. However, I met with my counselors and I had been put in the wrong classes. So come to find out, I was an NCAA unqualifier. But that's besides the point because I still didn't have any Division I offers coming out of high school. I had a teammate who was highly recruited, and he's plays for the Raiders right now, left tackle Colton Miller. So there was a ton of Division I schools coming in, and there were some schools that I would talk to, and they were just kind of seeing if there was interest there, but there wasn't much. So I actually had opportunities to go play at Division II and NAIA schools, Division III, and they were great opportunities. However, like I said earlier, my mindset shifted and I saw myself playing Division I football, and I believed that I would get there. So I ended up going to junior college, and my first year at junior college, I ended up breaking my hand the first game of the season, ended up medical redshirting, and then ended up playing that second year, which was such a blessing in disguise because I didn't find out I wasn't a qualifier until after my redshirt year at junior college. I finally had got requested by school to see if I was a qualifier. I don't know if they still do that nowadays. I don't know how that whole NCAA clearinghouse works. It was a nightmare. Needless to say, I ended up playing redshirt in my first year at American River College in Sacramento. And then I played one season, had the opportunity to transfer to Cal and play 3 years there. And it was just a phenomenal experience. So grateful for how that journey panned out.
Yeah, man, amazing. The clearinghouse, everything, it's still there, by the way. But yeah, no, your story's incredible. I remember when you came in and we would all talk about, you know, how we got to Cal, and for you had quite the journey, and dude, you became a standout football player. And also I remember you telling me, this will probably go into our next question. You were sort of undersized, right? A little bit?
Yeah, very undersized. So coming into high school, I was actually 5'4", 130 pounds.
Wow.
Played linebacker, yeah. So
okay, how much does NFL JK weigh now?
I'm about 235 right now.
Dang.
Yeah, so, and 6'3", 235. So I just grew throughout my high school career. But it's funny because I just consistently grew throughout my high school career. However, my junior year, I was still like, I grew to about 6 foot, but I was still like 170 pounds.
Wow.
And then my senior year, I hit like a growth spurt and like my frame started to fill out. And I got up to about 210 pounds. I put on like 40 pounds. And so like I turned into like a good size high school linebacker, but I was still playing like I was this small guy because I was all my whole life. So
Right.
I played small, still ankle biting.
Exactly. No, exactly. I love it. Well, and so that goes right into our next question, the second question of the Z6. Tell me about how your development has been as an athlete. So you start off as that small guy, right? Then you grow and you have your bigger body, but you're still there, not there completely with your mindset.
Yeah, absolutely. So going into my sophomore season, so let me rewind a little bit. My freshman year of high school football, there were some games that I didn't get any playing time. And I remember going home crying, just super upset, like, man, what happened? Like I started playing football when I was 6 years old. I played well, and never like had any issues of getting playing time. Like I was always leading my team and playing well. So I remember going home crying and like never wanting to feel that way again. And I knew
Right.
that I needed to change something. So going into my sophomore season, we have a program at Roseville High School, JV football coach, Tim McDowell, phenomenal coach, phenomenal man. And he helped instill a work ethic in me where we had weights every morning at 6:15. And I remember I did not miss a day from we started after Christmas break in January, second half of freshman year, all the way through the season. And I just developed this work ethic where I didn't want to feel that way that I had felt before. And I knew that I needed to do something different. And I was willing to do whatever it took to get back to where I was on the field. So I continued to develop throughout my high school career. So when I got to junior college, I needed that extra year of development, and it was much needed. So I ended up transferring to Cal, and I just continued to develop my body. We had great strength and conditioning coaches there. We had great coaches, and I bought into the process of what the coaches were asking for me, and it continued throughout my college career. And then coming into the NFL, I ended up going undrafted, and I kind of that mindset and that work ethic that I had developed beforehand and going junior college that stuck with me throughout my journey. So I still feel my work ethic and everything that I've done leading up to this point has led me to where I am now.
Totally. And I remember at Cal, you were the standard when it came to work ethic. I'm sure you still are, but you lived in the facility. I mean, you got your extra work. You lived in the training room. You were the first one, at every single workout, last one out. You were best friends with the strength conditioning staff and the training staff. Like you were relentless when it came to how you treated your body. I remember you went on all these diets and stuff, and you got other guys on diets. You had your own Himalayan salt. I remember that you were the standard, and you inspired guys like me, other guys, to get in there, because like not only are you helping yourself, but you're helping the team. And I think that that's something that everyone who's watching this can learn, is taking care of your body in all aspects is huge. And JK has done that since he was a kid, and he has that work ethic. And now look where he is. He's playing linebacker for a Washington football team. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. And I think that if there's an example of work ethic, JK, you're the guy. How important is branding for you as a professional athlete?
Branding is very important. And the reason so is because you get to choose the things that mean the most to you, and those are the things that represent you. For instance, for me, I'm a devout follower of Jesus, and I get to share my faith, and allow people to see me as that. And it's really important.
And I mean, for a guy like you, when it comes to your faith, that's incredibly important to you, and you want to share that message, right? Like we had on Pat Laird before. Pat was, he's sort of a bookworm, and he's sort of a nerd. He started his thing in college when it came to the reading challenge. Pat McCary, he likes his hats and things, and he's trying to get brands to, or he gets brands to recognize him. And so based on his following and what he puts out there on social media. And so, like, for someone like you, like, at being where you are in your platform, it's a perfect thing for you to share, what is most important to you.
Yeah, absolutely. And another cool thing about your brand is you get to choose who you partner with. So for me personally, I've got to partner with some great companies, and it's really cool because I get to choose, hey, do I want to partner with this company? Do I believe in what they stand for? Do I believe in their product? And it's a nice way to just help them. They help us, and you get to do whatever you please.
Right, exactly. And that's what I think for the young athletes, who will be able to profit off their name, image, and likeness in college is, it is a win-win relationship because, you get something out of it, and so does the company. And that's why it's more of instead of a sponsorship, it's more of a partnership. I would say.
I would.
Very cool. Very cool. And I love how, personal, everyone we've had on, you, both the Pats, when it comes to personal brand and what it means to you, it's huge. Okay. So number 4, what's the biggest regret you've had in your athletic career? And I preface this, with, like I said to Pat McCary, I don't know how many regrets you have because look where you are. But I'm sure there may be a thing or two you wish you could just tweak in order to say, oh, maybe I could have done this or that better.
Yeah. So I would say if there's one thing, and I was actually talking the other day with somebody about this, and I really enjoyed playing baseball growing up. So I played basketball, baseball, and football growing up. And once I got into middle school, I just chose randomly. I'm like, I don't want to do anything except for football. Like, I love football. I thought football was the coolest sport. So I was like, I'm just going to play football. And as I look back at my athletic career, I wish I would have done all 3 sports, 4 sports, as many sports as you can going through high school. I think there's so many great skills that you can learn and develop by playing several different sports. And so for me, I wish I would have continued to play baseball. It was fun. It was honestly my best sport. I was better at baseball than I was at football. And I made some great friends growing up playing baseball. And like I said, you develop so many different skills. So for me, I regret not playing multiple sports in high school and giving those up at an early age.
Totally. No, that makes perfect sense. I mean, like, you look at Patrick Mahomes, really good baseball player. You see that throw he made, I think it was the Super Bowl, that sidearm sort of throw. You're not making that throw if you don't have a baseball background, I used to always say skiing was my best sport. That was non-transferable to playing center. But totally, I mean, playing multiple sports and being able to, whether it be lacrosse, basketball, baseball, being able to understand how your body needs to navigate a quarter field in different sports and what's required of you, it really increases your athleticism and your ability to understand like how your body works. So I love that. That's awesome. Okay, number 5. How would you rank the 3 between development, recruiting, and branding? I think I know what you're going to say.
Yeah. What do you think I'm going to say, Addy?
I think you're going number 1, development, number 2, recruiting, number 3, branding.
Man, you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely development number 1, because in order for you to get recruited, you've got to have the product. And the product is just your craft, your development. Are you coachable? How's your character? Are you taking care of business? Are you doing things the right way? And then your physical playing ability. I mean, most people who are listening to this are probably people who aspire to play Division I football. And in order to do so, you've got to have the product in order for a coach to want to recruit you. So I would say development, definitely number 1. Number 2, recruiting. And the reason is because in order for your brand to be efficient, you've got to get to the place. So I think recruiting is really important, just to get to the right school, to put a good product on the field. And when you put a good product on the field, your branding is just going to continue to increase. And so that brings me to the third one, which is branding. And I think branding is extremely important because, like I said earlier, you get to choose what you stand for and how people see what interests you. So I would do it in that order, but I think that they're all very important. So definitely development number one, and then recruiting and branding.
Totally. I love how you talked about development though, because a lot of kids, especially today's time, it's instant gratification. And it's posting a cool Instagram picture of you catching a football, but what is really happening when it comes to, your work? And a lot of kids don't understand the work that it takes. A lot of people think they know, but they really, really don't understand, which is the whole reason why Zone Student Athlete Consulting was created, was to show people the way and decrease that margin for error. And so people want scholarships, people want to be able to get preferred walk-ons, but they don't have film. You haven't done it. Like, you have to have something, and you have to not only have something, but show a trend, and a trend that shows your athletic ability and your ability to play, and your body, how your body looks, and its ability to play at the next level. That is all trending upwards. And so I love that you hit that perfectly, because a lot of people don't understand that, and they think they're there, but they definitely aren't there. And there's people out there who think they know how to get them there, but they don't necessarily understand what it takes. Maybe they haven't gone through the process themselves. So I really appreciate you hitting that on the head.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, JK, number 6. If football wasn't your zone, what would be your zone?
That's a good question.
I'm interested. I'm interested because I just know JK, the football player, like getting his body right all the time,
Yeah, that's something that I've actually been thinking about recently, because I'm like, as I've grown in my faith a lot over the past 2 years, I really used to put my identity in football, and my identity has completely changed from Jordan, the football player, to Jordan, the man of God. And for me, faith is number one above anything and everything. So as I think about, like, man, what would I do if I wasn't playing football? And I don't really know what I would do, but I know that there's certain things that I really enjoy, that I love, and that's helping people, that's leading, that is, I've always had a passion. Like, when I was a young kid, I always loved to hear. I ask a lot of questions. Like, it's funny. People used to, when I was growing up, people gave me the nickname question mark, because I wanted to know every little detail about everything. So I've always heart for wanting to help people and listening to their problems and wanting to help them find a solution. So that's something that I'm passionate about, something that I still find true. So something in leadership, something in serving the people, loving on people, helping people. So I'm not really sure what God will call me to, but I think it'll be something around that.
Totally. I could totally see you doing that. It's so natural for you. And yeah, you really are a question master, and it's not, some people like out there, they ask questions just to like get a conversation going. Like, you truly want to hear, about people, and if there is an issue, you're like, oh, well, maybe this or that. So I think that's perfect, and you'll find that whatever it may be. And that's also a cool thing is, athletes, post football. I mean, I didn't even know what I was going to do, when I was done playing. Yeah, I mean, like, at least you have that. And for, young athletes out there, it's okay if you don't know exactly what you want to do just yet after your football career is over. Well, JK, that's it. I know this was a couple hiccups here and there, but I really appreciate you coming on, dude. I mean, it means a lot. You're in the middle of OTAs, and you're here to help the young athletes understand what it took for you to get to where you are. So I really appreciate it, dude.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure, bro. Like I told you before this, bro, like, dude, I love what you're doing. This is so cool, and it's such a good resource for kids to have. I listened to both of the Pats interviews, and one thing that stood out was like, none of us knew how the process went. I didn't know how the process went. Like, I just, it's tough because everybody wants to play D1, but people don't really know what to do. And it's more so the guys like us, right? The walk-ons, the junior college, the like 1 or 2 offers, the late offers. It's like the 4-star, 5-star guys, like they're chilling, 3-star
Right.
guys who have offers, but it's the guys who are under the radar that need help and need to understand how the process works. So, man, I love what you're doing, serving the high schoolers and showing them the way.
Thanks, brother. That means a lot, JK, especially coming from you, dude. Someone who wants to help people. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, you have a good one, and hopefully I see you soon.
Absolutely, bro.
Cause I'm back in my zone now. Cause I'm back in my zone now.